I'm Eric Lipson. I'm the general manager of the ICC. I'm here with...
Michelle Shirk. I'm the work manager at Nakamura.
And it's March 24th, 2011. And we're here to talk about how you become an effective work manager. Michelle is one of our most effective work managers, and she's is demonstrated by the fact that Nakamura passed its kitchen inspection on the first try, among other things. Michelle, tell me, why did you become work manager here at NAC?
Well, I know at my house there was a lot of problem with how to be an effective work manager and being nice to people, but still making sure that the house is clean. And I thought that I could kind of fill that gap between the both of them.
So you think there's some different styles of work managers that are more or less effective?
Mm-hmm. I think that a lot of times people see the work manager job as I need to be really strict, I need to be forceful, and I need to demand that chores get cleaned. And then there's the other side of it where people say I want to be cool, I want to be friendly with people. So I think that those two don't really work so well. You have to kind of split the difference of just needing the chores to be done, but then also being respectful of other people within the house.
So how do you make it so that if someone doesn't do their chores or their work, how do you approach them?
Well, I tend to do email notification, and if that doesn't seem to work with certain members, I'll approach them in person. And I just kind of try to remain positive and say, listen, I noticed that the bathroom, for example, didn't get cleaned this week, and this isn't like you. You're normally really on top of your chores. And then I try to I just give them 24 hours to fix it.
And you send them an email.
And if they don't fix it after the 24 hours, then our Constitution states that they receive a $15 fine per hour, and so I just follow through with that.
And so what happens if it's one of your friends who's not doing their work?
My relationship with the person doesn't really matter. I know it creates a really awkward situation to approach someone that I'm close with, but I know that if I don't approach that person, then that looks bad on me, and I don't want to look like the person that's favoring certain people over other people. And
do you believe in using incentives or fines to get people to do their work?
Both. I think that our Constitution states that people receive fines for missed labor, but I like to create an incentive system. It keeps the job positive, but it also keeps people accountable.
And I see over here you've got this chart.
Yeah.
And maybe you can explain to us what this chart is all about. I think if you want to come up a little closer.
So basically, how the chart works is people get a sticker for jobs well done over the course of the week. It has both of their chores, so in order to get a sticker, they must complete both of their chores in the given week. And the black spaces are for people that either had fines or needed to get a makeup chore.
I see. So, and this is your common bulletin board, so everybody sees what's going on. Do you think that helps? I think it does, because our Constitution says that if someone gets 3 missed labor, then they have automatic referral. So, if someone had 3 of these black things, then that would kind of mean that they'd have to go on automatic referral, and that wouldn't be my decision or anything. It just keeps everything a lot more accountable. Okay, and here you've got the chore schedule up here, and so everybody knows what their chores are.
Yeah, and what everyone else's are too. Because sometimes people will email me and say, oh, the person that cleaned the 3rd floor bathroom didn't change the garbage. Can you ask them about this? And so it just keeps things a lot more.
I see, and by sending people emails, you ask that people email you rather than approaching you during the day? So
I think a major problem I found with being work manager at the beginning of the semester was that people were approaching me from 10 in the morning until 1 a.m. talking to me about chores, their what they had to do, and if they could have extensions on their chores. And I found it really stressful as a student, so I just required that people approach me via email about their jobs. And then I have a hard time, though, sometimes as work manager, getting people to read the emails that I send. So what I like to do is if I notice that someone doesn't check their email frequently, I'll just approach them in person.
But you still send
But in
them.
a way that's not threatening, and a nice time for them. Sometimes a dinner is a good time to approach people.
So you're one of our most active members. You're also on our dispute resolution team. And do you find that some of the techniques that you've used on that help you as work manager?
Yeah, I'm on diversity and DART, and I think that it really creates a balance. Because I know that I don't want to approach people in a way that's confrontational or that is imposing my power as an officer on them. Because everyone's here to live in an environment that's beneficial to them, and I think that I don't know, being on people about their chores creates a bad environment for a lot of people. So I like to be respectful when I approach people about things.
But you still can't let people get away with not doing them, because then other people get upset.
Right.
Those who are doing their chores. And do you have a kitchen czar now?
We do.
So that's the person who's just responsible for kitchen cleanliness?
Yeah, so the kitchen czar at our house kind of mandates that we keep the kitchen in the way that like the health code wants us to. So they check the kitchen, and they also help with like the cooks, making sure that like people know like the rules of the kitchen.
And you have a grounds person? Mm-hmm. And are they responsible for snow shoveling in the winter too?
They are, but everyone chips in because we have a driveway and it's just too much work for one person to do.
I see. Well, what do you think? What's the most important part of your job, do you think?
I think that the most important job is checking things in a timely fashion and then responding in a respectful way. I think that those two things go together. I think if I were to check, the Constitution says that I have to check chores at Sunday at midnight and then again at Monday at midnight if people like missed it from the Sunday deadline, because there's a 24-hour grace period. And I think if I were to email somebody at like Wednesday saying that they didn't do their chore, that wouldn't be a very good way to do it, because that shows I'm not doing my chore. So I think it's all about being timely.
Now, even though theoretically work manager doesn't have to do any chores except be work manager, do you actually do chores around the house too?
Yeah, well, I took on 4 hours of office labor because I was really committed to DART and DivCom. And at first I thought it was like way too much work, and I don't know why I did it. But then I realized that like it's really important for work manager to take on labor in the house and to like be like an active like person when it comes to cleaning. Like whenever I see messes, I try to clean them up because like I know that it reflects on like me as work manager. And I think a lot of times work manager gets painted as someone who's trying to avoid chores, and I want to avoid doing that.
How do you set expectations for people? Do you tell them how to do a job if they don't know, if they've never cleaned a bathroom or whatever?
Yeah, well, I wanted to avoid micromanaging people. One of our earlier work managers previous semester, he set out like these like guidelines that were like, first clean the sink, then clean the toilet, then clean the shower. And like I think that people find that kind of degrading. So instead of like kind of having the ordered tasks, I wanted to set up like expectations that were just like, these are the 7 things I'm gonna check when I like check a bathroom. I'm gonna check the floor, I'm gonna check the sink, I'm gonna check the mirror, I'm gonna check the shower, I'm gonna check the toilet, I'm gonna check all other surfaces in the bathroom, I'm gonna check that like things are like filled, like toilet paper.
And do you have lists in the spaces, like in the bathroom, that people sign when they clean, or that they?
I don't do that, but because I feel like that if it's clean, it's like pretty obvious that it's clean, because like those are like the criteria that I check. And I sent out an email at the beginning of the semester telling people like what I'm looking for.
What kind of dishwasher do you have, Nakamura?
We have a Hobart.
And how do you train people on that?
Well, at the beginning of the semester, we have like a new member tutorial on like how to do things, and I think that in the next semester, like I think that we should continue on with that, and I think that we should think more about like health code and like how health code plays, because I think plays a role in like cleanliness. So I think in like next semesters at Nakamura and other co-ops, I think that ground rules for cleanliness and hygiene and like how to like thaw chicken or something should like be brought up at the beginning of the year.
We're actually working on a video with the Department of Health that was helping us to
great.
do one that'll be helping people to get those rules more easily accessible. Do you, I think, ever use signs on the Hobart? You know, do this. I've seen some of the places they'll have a sign, step 1, step 2, step 3, and they're laminated signs. Do you ever use those?
We do. We have some things in the kitchen. Like, I think the big thing is when people first move in, they see the Hobart as a dishwasher, and it's actually just a sanitizer. It doesn't clean food particles off the plates, so you have to actually wash them with soap and water first and then put it through the Hobart.
There's a lot of things to know about being a work manager. A lot of details in the house. And the fact that this house has been, you passed your your health inspection on the first try, the house has been really clean, so you've done an excellent job, so people can learn a lot from listening to what Michelle has learned. And thanks very much, Michelle.
Thank you.